Turn my bitch up. Turn. Wait, on. Hello. Hello, and welcome to SSPN. This is part of the most unorganized podcast on the internet. Welcome back to whichever installment of this one it is, because the Lord knows which is going on. But yeah, we can't do the introduction or anything. That's gonna take 25 minutes. But yeah. Mark, introduce yourself.
My name's Mark.
Who's your favorite team?
The best team in the NBA are the Boston Celtics.
So terrible. Manny.
Hello, my name's Manny.
What's your favorite team, bro?
Lakers.
Thank you.
That's even worse.
And this, yeah. Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Both of you guys have bad
He's
teams.
Awful. And then this right here, this is the man himself. It's my little brother. He's, Lord knows what NBA team is actually his favorite because he changes every single week. But he does stuff like this. Izzy will clip the video right above my head. But yeah.
Oh, I thought I was looking up.
Yeah, he broke my neck too. It's okay.
And he thinks he's smart, so it's all right. But go ahead, pick a team just for the sake of it. Who's your favorite team?
Memphis Grizzlies.
All right. Yep.
I said that last time.
I knew you were gonna say that, but that doesn't mean you're actually a fan.
All right, so you're gonna lock it in. So like 5 years from now, I want to hear Memphis Grizzlies still because I hear some craziness.
That's what he told me. He told me like
I told him when you're at this age is when you have to pick a favorite team. You have to stand on it.
And then this is a record now, so you can't even deny it later.
So I said to him, if the Memphis Grizzlies are not your favorite team by next year, you can't change it, dude. You have to live on it.
Is Memphis your favorite team or is Ja your favorite player?
That's what I told him. So I said, if Ja left right now, would you be fine with them being your favorite team? He said, yeah.
We still have Jaren Jackson. So.
God,
and Desmond Bane.
There's no way that can be your favorite team with Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, you said Bane too hard. Bane's good, but like, I love Bane like that. Nah.
Yeah, no way. I've never heard anybody sit there and say I love Desmond Bane.
Do they sell Bane jerseys?
Yes. They sell a jersey for the third worst player on the team.
He wears the best basketball number on the planet.
22.
Yep.
2021 too.
0, like
what?
Jason Tatum.
What are you talking about? 2021, bro. We're talking about his jersey number.
See, I know you're gonna say something. I'll just say anything, bro.
All right. Well, since we're here now, and today was the official announcing of the All-Star lineups. Well, not the lineups, but the starters. It was definitely an interesting setup for the starters there. I don't really know what was going on, but
Austin Reeves should have been a starter.
You're out of your mind. He's
That's it's a tough take.
But regardless of that, we all know that the Western Conference starters were Luka Doncic and Steph Curry. No surprise on either of those two. You got anything to say about that?
Honestly, that's solid. The only person you could really argue about would be like if Josh should be in there. But I mean, Steph has been playing. But who do you think
he should be? They have identical stats.
Who do you think he would replace though as a guard?
Nobody.
Luka.
Oh,
what? He's averaging a 30-point triple-double. There's no way.
Luka's the second MVP race. What do you mean?
He might be first.
Nah, Jason Tatum's gonna win it.
Jason Tatum's not
I'm
winning.
calling it now.
Watch
you hear all the spaces later.
He's in love with Jason
I'm not even in love
Tatum,
with
bro.
him. I like the team. He's like my favorite player.
He's in love with Jason Tatum.
He just is the best player in the league
I don't
right now.
see Jason Tatum like that,
They have
bro.
so
Best
many
clearly
player
not
in the
watched the
league
Celtics
is
enough.
crazy.
We have the best record in the league too.
But he is not the
You guys
best
are
player in the
hating.
league, bro.
I'm not hating, just that
Who's better?
Luka.
I don't even know about that
Jokic,
one.
Giannis.
Bro,
Giannis
Joel
is
Embiid.
not better than him right now.
Giannis.
Luka is better.
Embiid, he's definitely not better.
Luka is better than Jason Tatum. If you were drafting a team right now, who would you pick?
I said Luka.
I would probably draft Tatum just because I feel like he's more versatile.
What?
He plays better defense.
Bro.
30-point triple-double.
Okay, but look at his record.
And he got nobody
Look at
around
his
him.
record, though.
His second best player is Christian Wood.
Yeah, and I know, and I'm accepting that.
Christian
but obviously,
Wood.
if you put Tatum on that team, he's going to be putting up identical stats.
I'm looking at the thing.
Back up. Don't worry about me.
That's what he's hosted it.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Trying to see the records.
Get it together, bro. You should know that off the top of your head, Memphis Grizzlies fan.
Yo.
You know what's really crazy though is that the Suns were like a contender before the season started, and how bad they are now though.
They are absolutely awful.
And like they have so many marquee matchups that aren't
Dude,
even
Jay
worth it
Crowder
anymore.
didn't even want to play for him.
Yeah, and Jay Crowder to be saying something is really some crazy.
Hit CP 0 rings.
Hey, he's like 95 too now.
Yeah. Nah, but the only thing about the West roster that I don't really like is that Sabonis didn't start.
I think it's just because he's not known and nobody watches the Kings. If people really watched Kings games,
Bro, he's averaging 26, 12, and 8, bro. Like, he's almost averaging a triple-double.
He has the Kings pretty much in the playoffs. The fact that you can do that is crazy because the Kings haven't even sniffed the playoffs in so long.
He's ridiculous, bro.
There's so many. The West has so many good guards, though.
They doing good.
Sabonis ain't a guard.
I'm talking
forward.
I know that. Forward. I'm talking about guards.
I know, but I mean, Jokic. Even putting Zion in there doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think he played enough games.
He didn't, but when he did, he played good. I voted for Zion to be in.
But also, the Kings have a better record than the Pelicans.
That is actually kind of nuts.
And Sabonis has only sat out like 1 or 2 games the entire year.
Well, you hear the thing now with Ben Simmons too is they're like, oh, is he pretty much like milking his injury? Because it's not turf toe, it's just a bruise.
Oh yeah, Brandon
Ingram. Out with the bruise. What did I say?
Ben Simmons.
Oh my bad. Oh, that's another.
It's alright. Everybody just likes picking on Ben Simmons.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, it's 100%.
I can hit more layups and free throws than he can.
You can't hit more bad bitches because he's out there.
Doesn't he fumble the back like every week?
Oh yeah, every time. He's still hitting though.
You're right.
Alright, boom. But fucking, and then the Eastern Conference. I mean that one's kind of iffy, cause with that side you have Kyrie.
I don't think Kyrie was the best guard in the East.
No, they didn't have him as the best one.
He had the most votes.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, they had Donovan Mitchell.
No, but on votes, he like creamed everyone.
Yeah.
He beat everyone by like 2 million. Yeah, and that's what. But he's not playing as good. It's just his name, you know.
And Mitchell was
honestly,
second.
Who else in the East? Like
Jaylen Brown.
I think Jaylen Brown should.
Jaylen Brown, Trae Young.
Jaylen and Trae were the only. I think Trae could have started.
Statistically, Trae Young had better stats than Jaylen Brown, so it should have been Trae Young. But if they were going off of actual impact, like on a winning team, it would be Jaylen Brown because they're the best record.
Like
in the
you could
league.
make the argument. Like if I wouldn't be mad if Trae wasn't over Jaylen.
Both of them have a better argument than Kyrie.
Yeah, definitely. And then Mitchell, I knew like he's putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah, Mitchell's automatic.
Like I don't like Mitchell personally, but like you gotta respect what he's doing in Cleveland.
And their record holds their own for them, where they deserve a starter on that team.
Definitely.
He's putting up insane. He scored 72 points in a game.
71.
Yeah, I didn't think he had it in him. I thought he was gonna be a flop.
Yeah.
71.
Same shit. It doesn't matter. But, that team also they were really questioning that the way that they put KD, Giannis, and Tatum instead of putting Embiid in.
I think Tatum is playing better than Embiid. And
no, Tatum wasn't the discussion there for me. I think honestly the worst playing one is probably gonna be Durant.
Yeah. Oh, really? I was gonna say no one wants to have that conversation where I think Jason Tatum is playing better than Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And that's not even talking about health because
I don't think he's playing better than Giannis, but he's playing better than Durant.
Oh, they help.
I don't know. Giannis is Giannis, but I feel like all around, like when you need a shot, I trust Tatum more than Giannis.
Giannis monster, bro.
Especially though, my thing is that KD is out. KD is out, and the Nets are still winning.
It's actually surprising that they even were winning in the first place because they started off horribly too.
Yeah.
Them and the 76ers really shocked me, and I hate Philly, but you gotta give them props because they started off horrible.
Hey, they're second in the East.
Yeah, that's.
It's because James Harden learned how to play basketball, and it's fine. He remembered how to play basketball, and
even Harden was. I think Harden was too high on votes too.
I mean, he's having a good statistical season anyway too. He's having like 21 and 12.
Look, I don't even think he's the best guard on his team. I think Maxi's better than him, or Maxi's more valuable to the team than he is.
Because he's younger.
He's younger and just like consistent. Well, like he's still building his consistently, but James Harden can be all over the place.
Harden's playmaking ability just is never wavers though. He gets a good 10 assists every single game, and he has low turnover rates. And just him being on the court, he draws attention. Because you can't leave James Harden alone, ever. You can't. So he changes the way that defenses have to play the 76ers.
Definitely, but we've all seen games where Harden is completely off, though. Remember when they were saying that all he was cooking was turnovers?
Yeah.
Because he does have a few too many of those games for me where it's
he plays
like...
too sped up for himself.
Yes. He looks like he's like falling constantly.
Yeah. A lot of the times he has games where he doesn't look like himself. first trade that went down for this year. Before the trade deadline, and they got it off right before the All-Star break, but Hachimura for Kendrick Nunn and 3 picks.
That was robbery, but Nunn was actually playing good the other night.
What was the picks?
They gave him 3 second
rounders.
Really?
To me, 3 second rounders in the NBA hardly ever. They're not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
but
just
my
roster
thing is
fillers.
that it's still the chance of having an extra pick. It's also trade pieces. It's a lot of stuff, and that's also they dumped a lot of money on them, because Kendrick Nunn is making like $9 million a year or some shit like that. They signed him to a dumb contract. I'd rather take on Rui's contract than Kendrick Nunn,
because he's better and he's younger.
Oh yeah, he's way better than Kendrick. Nunn.
The Lakers definitely won that trade.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they definitely did. They let up.
But did you see the gradings that they gave that trade? They gave them, I think, like a C- for the Lakers and a B+ or whatever to the Wizards. I was like,
it was kind of just a waste. It was just a waste.
Bro, I don't understand why they're doing that. Bro.
They're packing up on assets.
I don't understand.
The Wizards are just trying to grab a bunch of people so that they can have.
But then they're saying that they're gonna hold. Man, why am I Kuzma though?
Yeah.
Like they're saying Kuzma's untouchable.
Because they want to build around him.
I don't know about that.
They're trying to move Porzingis though.
Yeah, Porzingis is just.
But I like Porzingis on that team.
On that team, actually.
On that team,
he's playing better.
He's playing.
But I seen
good.
him on Dallas. That was despicable.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
He needs to be on a
bad.
team where he can do whatever he wants. Really, he needs to be on a team where he can kind of just be out there and do his thing and is not responsible for anything.
I think it's like the same thing with Wiggins, where like when Wiggins was the guy, he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, the fourth option. Obviously, you're in a ball.
And he's not I don't think he plays winning basketball. I think he plays good statistical basketball, but I don't think he's a piece of a winning team. I honestly don't think.
Honestly, unless he slides over to the 4 and they get a real like dominant 5, I don't see him on a winning team. I don't think he's strong enough or like dominant enough to play 5 in the NBA at a high level.
I think he would have fit better on one of those teams like how Cleveland had it for a while, where Markkanen was running the 3. Where he's just a big body but he plays like a small forward. He can't
all
play.
Of Cleveland, though.
Yeah, he can't play that down low piece.
Their team looks like they got the sliders up in 2K and made them all bigger.
They're huge.
Yeah,
it's
huge. Ridiculous. Even like their backups are ridiculous.
But they do have a tiny backcourt.
Yeah,
Darius Garland's
6'1" and 6'1".
Yeah, Garland's sniffing 6'2" on a good day. Donovan Mitchell might be 6'3" with shoes on.
No, I'm pretty sure they have his listed height at like 6'1".
Yeah,
he's 6'1"
for a shooting guard.
Donovan Mitchell's real small.
6'1".
6. Yeah, he's listed at either 6'1", 6'2", or 6'3", depending on.
I don't think it really matters when you have giants in the post like that, because they kill people on the boards.
They do.
2 7-footers.
I mean, and they have Karis LeVert coming off the bench. He's 6'8", gives them a great statistical line every night.
He could start on other teams, you know.
Every night. Karis LeVert will start.
And I feel like that's how you know you have a good bench is your bench players start on another team.
And they have Okoro. Okoro's a good scorer off the bench. They have a solid bench, and their starters are ridiculous. And usually either Allen or Mobley stays in with that second unit, so they hold it down in the backcourt anyway. And Kevin Love's back there.
I think that's the thing, is Kevin Love is like low on the to have Kevin Love like your 9th man on your bench is pretty, like, it's a good luxury.
Because they usually throw him in. They usually throw him in with the starters, and then let Mobley play with the backups, and they let it run like that.
Well, also think about it is like, what backup center in the league can really play Kevin Love that well? He plays on the perimeter, and like no like secondary like center is really gonna be moving out there like that with him. And he might not do many things well anymore, but he can rebound and he can hit threes.
Nobody's that skilled either. And when you get that far into a bench lineup, nobody else is that skilled to be able to guard Kevin Love. Or they're young. And a young player is just going to get one.
Kevin Love's up there now.
30.
Probably like 34.
Yeah, 33, 34.
Yeah. But he's a big man, so they age a lot worse than guards and everything like that. All right, well, taking it off of the topic of that, because we've already discussed the All-Star game. We've already discussed all that type of stuff. Here's an interesting one for you. I mean, I can start it off, and you guys can give your opinion on somebody that you think would fit into this category or whatever it's supposed to be. But I had it kind of listed as players that that you used to love growing up that you never felt like got enough recognition for the way that they played or the way that they did everything or anything that they gave and value to the court and everything to even the history of basketball. So, like for me, I have Monte Ellis and Brandon Jennings right now, where I feel like time has gone on and they've become forgotten as players when I don't think that they deserve to have their legacy like wiped out as a basketball player. Like if you bring up shooting guards, if you bring up any like older point guards or anything like that, Brandon Jennings is not brought up. Monte Ellis is not brought up. When Monte was out there averaging 25 for 6 straight seasons. Brandon Jennings went out there and was second in Rookie of the Year votes, led his team to a playoff berth first season. Second season came out, averaged 20 and 8, and then disappeared off the planet. They moved Bogut. They blew up that Bucks team, and everybody forgot that he was what he was.
I think it's because he never went deep in the playoffs, and like that's a lot
He
of
left
players.
the league.
Yeah, but like
Left
that's the
the
thing is
league.
if you don't make solid like progress in the playoffs,
Mhm.
you really don't get remembered in the league. Even if you like don't win a championship, a lot of times you don't remember. Like no one cares
Yeah.
about making the Eastern and Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Jennings was more of the like fan favorite pick for me because I used to love the way that he played.
Yeah.
But Monte gets
Nah, he
swept
was
under the
balling.
rug like he didn't. But he brought Golden State to those playoff berths for all of those years when they were teetering on like 8 seeds, 7 seeds. Sometimes would sneak into the 6. He was Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry was there.
Yeah, and you gotta because did they ever play together? Were they on
Yeah.
the roster at the same
Yeah.
time?
Yep.
You also gotta,
Steph
like-
was just battling injuries.
So you got to think is like he
Couple,
probably
3
helped Steph
years.
become
Mhm.
like Steph too because you're not around a point guard like that and like don't learn things, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's one of those positions where it's like you can see definitely a lot more development if they have a good like a good point guard,
Mhm.
like a vet that makes a difference. For a young
And
point
that
guard.
was the reason why Mark Jackson started playing that style of offense that they ended up developing into a dynasty. Because if Monte wasn't there, Monte was only it is a dynasty. We won 4 titles in 6 years.
It's rubs.
Bro. But regardless of that, he's the reason why they implemented that system because they wanted to give both of them a chance to have the ball at a lot of times, have them have open shots because he played that role where he was 1 and Steph was 1A. Steph was just 1A because he couldn't see the court. He couldn't stay on the court and be healthy. And then he had the one breakout season in his 3rd season where he stayed healthy and ended up being Steph for the first time. And when people started seeing, oh, this is what he can really do on a big stage, they moved him. They said, all right, we're going to build and we're going to take Bogut and move that along. Because Clay was playing in the spot of both of them. And that's where Clay was averaging. Clay, at some point in his first 2 years, he was averaging like 15 and 10. He was the point guard.
Yeah.
And then he was averaging a stupid amount of assists in Steph's replacement spot because Steph was hurt. And from that, they decided to move on from Monte Ellis because they were like, all right, we have 2 players that we can build around in the
They just wanted
backcourt.
to give the keys to Steph at that point. Though,
Yeah.
You know?
And they wanted to grab a big man so that they could round out that offense, and they grabbed Andrew Bogut. Coming off the injury, his selling point was low because he was coming off with whatever it was, broken foot, torn ACL, whatever it was.
I don't know. He broke something bad though.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
In the play, it was that team with Brandon Jennings. That team went to the playoffs, put up a good fight, and then he blew out his leg in the
Well,
playoffs.
that's also mad funny though, is because that's why Milwaukee didn't get Steph was because of ankle
Mhm.
injuries. Meanwhile, this kid was snapped in half.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he broke his
Yeah.
leg in half, and they traded for him. And then he was a part of those first Golden State teams where they started making a little bit of noise, but he really never became himself again. Bogut just kind of washed up and went away because David Lee took the shine and rode them out to where they needed to be. But what are your any thoughts on a player like that?
I'm gonna say 2, but I think they're both different reasons than for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tim Duncan is one of the most underrated players in history.
Oh,
And I think the main reason is because he's not flashy, and everyone it's all about fundamentals. But like
Mhm.
he's one of
The
the
big
most dominant.
fundamental.
Exactly, and like he's one of the best power forwards to ever play the game. He won a bunch of championships, and like it's just after he retired and everything, he just kind of disappeared from the league. He doesn't get talked about much, but like
He's
I
an
think
assistant now
he can. Who
for Popovich.
Oh,
Mhm.
he's gonna be a head coach like tomorrow. Watch.
Mhm.
But I think he's definitely one. And I think it's just because he's not flashy, you know. And he just came in, did his job, and kind of like went home. Another one is just go shout out to the fam, Rondo. Definitely is an underrated point guard. He has 2 rings. He was always in the top like 1, 2, or 3 on assists, and no one really talks about that because of CP3.
Yeah.
But he has no rings. He hasn't gone on far the playoffs, and
They say he's the best point guard like ever.
He was
the
my
best
favorite
pure
point guard growing up.
Yeah,
I-
he's the best
point guard.
passer.
He has the honestly of this generation, he has the best argument for best pure point guard. Like
Yeah.
ability to just pass the ball
Oh,
and
and
run
And the
his
stuff he used
offense.
to do was like crazy because you know, like when you're watching like on a TV and you still get your neck broke, you
Yeah.
know someone's doing something right.
And
because-
he invented some of those fakes that people use to this day and have changed and altered. He was the first one to use them so perfectly.
Like the behind the back.
the behind
Yeah,
the back
everybody-
fake was
everybody-
Or
doing that when
insane.
he
yeah, he
did
used to like hold it
Insane.
here and then dump it off.
And
Yeah.
even the ball fake up where he comes back and puts it up, bro. He's insane.
Yeah.
The best is the camera angles where you see like the cameraman's like,
Mhm.
because they don't know he
Bro,
just pulled off.
me-
Like even those plays where
Yeah,
he
bro,
would
like-
come down, not even look and throw it to the opposite corner, bro. Like he was doing shit that was not
It was
normal.
him and Tony Parker, man. Like,
Also, but Tony
yeah.
Parker was just. Oh,
but
yeah,
he was a
yeah.
good
Yeah,
point guard too.
he
Tony
was
Parker was
great.
good.
Tony Parker knew how to run his offense.
But they
He got put
say
into a
I've
good
been
system.
hearing a lot recently about him is that he was a selfish player,
Yep.
and even that's why like Murray was like that's why he kind of hates on Parker because instead of staying there and mentoring him, which honestly he probably could help
left.
Murray a lot.
He
He went to go
left.
suck on the Hornets, and then what? He ended up getting cut. He just retired
He
after a few
retired.
seasons.
He retired after a year and a half, I think.
Which even that is like you could have retired as an all-time Spur
Uh-huh.
and like gotten your nice like goodbye.
You could have got your
and
pay,
everything like that.
Yeah.
rode off on the sunset, and called it a
Instead,
day.
you went to go sweat it out.
sit behind
Yeah.
Kemba Walker.
Yeah, literally.
Like you went and
With-
sat
with-
behind Kemba Walker, bro. Come on, Manny. Anybody you used to love that you don't feel like gets enough recognition? Don't say Kobe, bro. He gets plenty of recognition.
So yo, you heard of Kobe before?
Yeah, he's gonna be like, damn, bro,
He
Kobe's
was on the
underrated.
Lakers. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he's underrated, man. No.
To be honest,
You can give me a pass if you want.
I'm gonna say D Wade.
Bro, you can. That is not underrated.
No, I
he's
kinda
the,
see that.
He's
He's
the
like a-
top
No,
3 shooting guard of
but
all
no-
Yeah,
time.
he's like a
bro.
top shooting guard of all time.
No, but see, you guys like we all watch basketball and we get that, but I feel like a lot of people who have maybe not have been around or like watching that much, they don't give D Wade the same respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Especially 'cause
When-
he
especially
played-
when he was with Shaq, bro.
But
That
that's the
was
other thing
crazy.
too
He was
is
the star of that team.
he was playing with stars though.
Yeah.
He was the star of that team, though.
I mean, I
That
think
was
I
like
might be good with LeBron though.
30-year-old Shaq.
Oh
though.
no, but he was the star of the team with Shaq.
Yeah.
Even Shaq used to say that's Wade's team. But to change the topic because we're running low on time a little bit, we're gonna talk about your thoughts on what's gonna go down this weekend. What you think? What's your picks for?
To go NFL or NBA?
NFL. So there's Philly and San Fran.
They're winning the Super Bowl.
Oh my
Who,
God! Here we
Philly?
go.
Yes.
He's
Hell
an
no.
Eagles fan, bro.
That's
He's
that's
a
bad.
fucking
That's
Eagles
Nah,
fan.
I don't know. Eagles not winning.
I hate
Bro,
all Philly sports.
He's
They're the
an
worst. They're the worst fan
Eagles
base ever.
fan.
That's
I
bad.
don't know who raised him, but
you
he's
might have
an
to return him.
Eagles fan, bro. Don't know what's wrong with him.
How'd that even happen? Because your whole family's Pats fans.
Nah, Brandon's an Eagles fan.
Oh, that explains
Yep.
it.
Yep. The fucking Eagles, man. I actually have a bet on the Eagles to win it all. I bet it in like
No,
November. So
no.
like,
Hell
but I bet it in
no,
like
bro.
November.
Eagles is not
Who's
winning.
gonna? I mean, they're gonna beat San Fran though.
I think if the
Yeah.
Niners had a
Well,
better
Eagles is not
quarterback,
winning
that.
they
Bro.
would win. I don't see a rookie quarterback.
see
The
Eagles.
way
beating
that
the
San
Eagles.
Fran played last week, if they play that way against Philly, they're gonna get smoked.
I
That
don't
is
see.
true.
I don't
They're
see-
gonna get
I
smoked.
I don't
they
see
need a
Eagles.
lot.
They put up
more
16
from Purdy.
points.
They need a lot more from Purdy,
16
and I don't know if he got
points.
it. But he also
Bro.
he's surrounded with weapons though.
The Eagles are gonna put up 16 in the first half.
But I think the more like the biggest conversation is like what's really
On
gonna
the-
happen at AFC
On the AFC side,
because now you start that conversation
it?
where
Mahomes and Burrow.
and Burrow's already beat him.
Mahomes
He's
is
3-0.
knocked down, too.
He's 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Against
And
them or is it
Mahomes
4-0?
is Mahomes is
They're
hurt.
calling it Burrowhead.
I think he's scared. He got shook. He didn't want to face Burrow.
He's hurt, bro.
Nah,
He
I
got
know, I
hurt.
know.
It's his like his ankle or something.
Nah, it was a high ankle sprain.
One of his
Yeah.
ankles. Yeah.
Nah, it looked bad when he.
Oh, it
actually
did because he
It
got
was
caught
gross.
up from like.
Because he
on
went
top.
like the
Yeah.
inside out. It was bad.
But I think Burrow's taking it. I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a 49ers and Bengals Super Bowl, and I think the Bengals are going to win.
I don't like that Bengals defense though.
Yeah,
I
Bengals.
hate the Kansas City
49ers.
defense.
I just don't like
has
Kansas
the
City.
Worst defense ever.
I don't like Kansas City. Well, so what I'm saying is, what do you think if he plays and he plays well, like Patrick Mahomes, if he sees okay, and he loses again, is that the conversation? Is Burrow better than Mahomes?
No.
No.
See, I feel like we
Mahomes
should.
doesn't have a better team than Burrow. He doesn't. His defense has always sucked. They've never
that's
had a
not
good
true.
defense. And their offensive
still
line
see
is
the defensive
terrible
line.
this year. Burrow has a great offensive line. They've just been hurt all year.
I think Burrow is creeping
Burrow
up there. I
and
think
Burrow's
Burrow's
team
creeping
is
up there.
single-handedly built around him. They brought him.
Well, they
that
give-
wide
they give him wide
receiver core,
receivers,
bro,
yeah.
is ridiculous.
That's what you do with your
bro.
quarterback. You get him people to throw
But
to.
Kansas City doesn't do that. That's what I'm saying. Kansas City leaves him with Travis Kelce and says, "Figure it out."
I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Brady won how many rings with Gronk? Just throw it up
Yeah.
and let the big boy go get it.
But-
And that's another thing. They say he's the best
But
blah blah
that's
blah
a
tight
different
end.
quarterback, bro. That's a different
I don't
style,
know,
different
man.
type of
Yeah.
quarterback. And you got to remember the Patriots' defense was dominant through all of those years.
Yeah.
Dominant.
But we didn't always have offensive
Kansas
weapons.
City has to literally outscore everybody every game. Every single time because their defense is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
My
I don't
thing,
think, I don't think it's that bad.
I
think
see.
it's already sounding like excuses.
On it, no, I mean I have no problem with it. I think that if Mahomes plays well, that Kansas City's gonna pull it out. But I think if he's playing
With who then? You're saying they have nobody. If he
no,
doesn't
I'm not
play
saying
well.
that they have nobody, but I'm saying
I
they don't.
mean-
He doesn't have the team that Burrow has. He doesn't have the team that Burrow has. Against
I also kind of feel that Burrow earned his team though. Like,
Yeah.
like he had a really bad injury, came
Yep.
back. He had a few bad.
Oh,
like,
I'm not taking
one or two
anything
slim
away
years,
from him. I
But like
give
they
him-
put that team together. Like you hear that
Yeah.
you hear the one of the officials for not official or a trainer or whatever
Yep.
was like, oh, that I don't want to suck that bad where I need Chase on my team.
Mhm.
I feel like that was such a stupid argument. It's like who doesn't want better players on their team?
Yeah.
And like guess what? Either way, you're still out.
All right, so lock it in right now. Official pick.
Eagles.
I think it's gonna be Niners, and I think it's gonna be a Bengals Super Bowl.
Niners, Bengals,
I say Bengals.
and Bengals win.
I say Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals.
Eagles and Bengals.
Bengals.
Eagles are gonna win.
I'm gonna take Eagles. Eagles and KC reluctantly because I think Mahomes is gonna play through the injury and actually do it.
That's a hard injury to play through.
Yeah, it is, but I mean I think he's gonna do it. So, but we'll wrap that one up and we'll check back in next week. Next week we can go into the actual Super Bowl and everything like that because we will be past these championship games. So that's wrapping it up for SSPN and the most unorganized podcast on the internet. Wow.
I didn't even get to ask
You
my
didn't even ask the
questions.
questions. I was like, I kept looking at you, so like.
My whole page.